There we go. Tied at 10, not anymore. This time, ratified is down. Here in double O2. We'll go at it again inside. Tampa Bay Gators are going to crash hole 19.
Time is happening in the tournament since 2000.
Well, CDL fans, the time is approaching for the March 4th game day here in the Car Demolition League. To begin, James Hulse here, going to be bringing you all the action, as I always do. That being said, though, coming into this game day, we got the only perfect team left, putting their 5-0 record on the line here on the show today, and should be an interesting one when the Buffalo Warriors, 5-0, go on the road to take on the 4-1 Washington Patriots. That's our middle feature event. But leading off the day, the Roswell Aliens. I believe this is their first or second appearance on the show this season, but they're 3-2, and they are going to be hosting the 3-0-2 San Francisco Shinobis. That's going to be our first game up. And then main event, a pair of 4-1 teams going at it in a Central Division showdown, the Nashville Nighthawks head-to-head with the Chicago Wind Attack. Should be an entertaining one there. But before getting to our first game, that Shinobis Aliens game. Now keep in mind these two teams met in the second round of the playoffs just last season. Roswell coming on top in that series, 3-1. Could be a little bit of a revenge factor working for the Shinobis here today. But before getting to that game, Development League back in action. So let's go over the scores here right quick. Little Rock with a 15-5 win over the Richmond Reapers. Oklahoma City drops another one, 15-10 at the hands of the Montreal Saints. Cincinnati topping Rochester, 15-5. Syracuse Scorpions getting the win over the Mexico City Jaguars by that score also, 15-5. Orlando Rage getting the win over the Winnipeg Predators, same score, 15-5 there. A lot of those today. Kansas City Indians edging out the Toronto Canadiens, 20-15 in overtime. They had the Memphis Claws defeating the Baltimore Colts by a final of 15-5. Vancouver taking down their Western Division rivals, the Edmonton Extreme, 15-10 the final there. The Anaheim Eagles serving donuts for dinner yet again, 15-0 with the win over the Utah Lakers. And the Oakland Smashers bounced back from getting served donuts for dinner at the hands of Anaheim. They come out and they win 15-10 over the Alaska Bobcats. Calgary Stallions had the bye today. Now coming into this game day for the pros, St. Louis and Dayton are on the bye for the March 4th game day. But that being said, let's get down to the action on the field. San Francisco Shinobis and the Roswell Aliens set to go head-to-head. Should be a battle.
This is game time, and it's game time that the madness fly. Show the strength that just can't be defined.
Welcome, CDL fans. It is time for our first game of this March 4th game day. Of course, not counting the Development League, but our first pro game, and it is the first feature event here on our March 4th edition of CDLI. Pair of teams that have felt the taste of victory and defeat this season. As a matter of fact, all teams have, except for the Warriors, who are a perfect 5-0. And they'll be our next feature event, as a matter of fact. But nonetheless, the 3-0-2 San Francisco Shinobis find themselves on the road today to battle with the 3-2 Roswell Aliens. The Aliens, great start to the season, but they've been in a slump as of late. They started 3-0. They've lost their last two games. Here with home field today, looking to get back on the winning track. And of course, Lila Geyser Shinobis looking to get the little bit of revenge from last year's playoff series that they lost 3-1 at the hands of the Roswell Aliens. And that was, of course, the Western Conference semifinals. So here they are out here to meet here in this 2016 season. Should be a great matchup between the two. I would definitely say a lot of defense on both sides. So, that being said, let's get a look at the lineups. San Francisco Shinobis, Roswell Aliens.
We're beating. Is this a movie? Attack the Leaf villages where my crew be. What is it like to be a shinobi? My ninjas feel you for you feel me. Good soup.
We will begin transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Phone home! Phone home! Phone home! Phone home!
Alright, here we go. Arena 51 in Roswell, New Mexico is the fictional spot. I guess you could say it. But nonetheless, first two cars out on the field, F3 for the Shinobis and F1 Racer out there for Roswell. Game on, both cars coming to a head and not giving in. Now this time it'll be F1 Racer going down, so 5-0. San Francisco taking the lead. And that brings out Dragonfly for the Aliens. This is where defense comes into effect for Roswell's lineup, no doubt. So these two go head-to-head, and this time an interference right there. They'll send both cars back to their own sides. Both of them still alive and in this game. Still going in. And now this time Dragonfly with a good flip, and we are tied at 5 apiece. Now I'm going to bring out Black Bullet 1 for the San Francisco Shinobis. They go at it here, and Black Bullet 1 with a great flip there. Immediately giving the Shinobis the lead, 10-5 the score, and that brings out Spectite for the Aliens. The original in this league. First of his kind, Spectite was. As Black Bullet 1, the first of his kind, but him and his brother, if you will, Black Bullet 2, came to the league at the same year. And this is going to be my timeout. Specifically mine. Doesn't belong to either team, but Spectite getting a little harder roll. And until we can get the grips right. Pardon me, folks. Until we can get the grips right. Try to keep these cars as rollable as I can. New Phil kind of playing a little havoc even with me. Plays havoc with the cars, but it plays maybe even more havoc with me trying to roll them. So here we go. Spectite and Black Bullet 1 still going at it. 10-5, Shinobis in the lead. Black Bullet 1 trying to get the win for the squad. Almost did right there. Good defensive maneuver by Spectite. Staying up and alive in this game. And this time, both Spectite and Black Bullet 1 are down. And Black Bullet 1 did exactly what he needed to do right there. He took out both defensive threats of the Aliens right there. And leaving the rest to his captain here. Well, kind of a split captainship between the two, but car coming out from San Francisco's captain spot today here, that would be Spectite Jr. as the mayor's of that. Yeah, you were wondering why two of them look so similar. Spectite has become a common model in this league, and Spectite Jr. now looking for the win here. He's been set up for it, but has to take on a car that's kind of a smash mouth style offensive car, Police Porsche from the Roswell side, trying to force overtime. And almost went down. Almost a Shinobis win, but these two continuing to go at it here. And this time Police Porsche is down, and the Aliens will fall to 500 right there on the season. 3-3. Tough loss for them, but the Shinobis, way to get it done on the road. They go to 4-0-2 in San Francisco. You know, if you never knew they were a dangerous team, you certainly know right about now. Taking a look at what they got coming up on their next game day. Both teams, as a matter of fact. The Shinobis now 4-0-2. Haven't lost in regulation yet. They will have the home side of the field on the March 7th game day against the Minnesota Maniacs. The Roswell Aliens, they will be on the road in a division rivalry matchup when they go on ahead to take on in-state rivals, the New Mexico Monsters. So I gotta wonder if Roswell going to be able to get their season back on track. They've now lost 3 straight games after winning their first 3 of the season. The Aliens looking like they're facing some difficulties now, but the Shinobis getting a good win. That being said, though, we got highlights coming up, and then of course our second feature event of the March 4th game day, the Buffalo Warriors on the road to take on the Washington Patriots. Buffalo, the only perfect 5-0 team, the only perfect record team left in the league. and they put it on the line when they go on the road against Washington today, the current leaders of the Southeast Division. Should be an entertaining game. That's coming up. But first, let's go around the league, take a look at some of the highlights from the other games happening here in the CDL. Well, the Shinobis get the 15-10 win and a little bit of revenge from that playoff loss last season. So Shinobis 4-0-0-2, still haven't lost in regulation and keeping their season going strong. We got more action coming up, obviously. The Buffalo Warriors, they're 5-0 and looking to stay perfect. They're the only perfect team left. We'll see how they can do against the 4-1 Washington Patriots, and it's a road game for the Buffalo side. But before getting to that, go into the highlights. Plenty of action across the league. Let's get down to it. All right, starting off the highlights with the Hartford Homies and Carolina Wildcats, and Dragon Jr. led the way for the Wildcats. You see him here in action and able to get a quick 5-0 lead by taking Redemption down. 46 Jr. out there for the Homies, as both these teams were looking for their second win of the season coming into this game day, and already Hartford down 10-0. But that brought out Indy 5 for the Homies, and quickly it was 10-5, and then Mellow 51 sat down quickly just as easily. So tied at 10 now. Indy 5 looking good, going out there against the number 2 overall pick, Wen, and I'm talking about of this year's draft. So the rookie out there against the no doubt Hall of Famer, Indy 5. The two having a good show, but in the end, Wen goes down. So the score 15-10, Hartford in the lead, and then they would look to put it away, and they would do so right here. About the second collision, I believe it was, and Indy 5 getting the win for the Hartford Homies. So, Indy 5, a good day for him. He goes 4-0. 4-0, a perfect day, the best day you can have as a captain in the Car Demolition League. 15-10, Homies get the win over the Wildcats. Moving on, New Jersey Bandits at the Miami Mafia. The Mafia looking for their first win of the season here with home field on their side. Monkey out there for them, and he's able to get a tie with Pink Lamborghini. So we're all out at 5. Brings out Kid Custom and Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw for the Miami side, and you're going to see soon here he is able to get the flip on Kid Custom. So 10-5, Mafia in the lead, but coming out for New Jersey is Power Pistons, and Power Pistons has a flip there. His off-screen, Buzzsaw is down. So Power Pistons, can he get his team back in the game? Looks of it, he can. It's tied at 10. Now takes on Aqua Chevelle. So here we go. Aqua Chevelle taking down Power Pistons. So that one quicker than I even thought it was going to be. And it's 15-10, Miami in the lead. 686, almost able to send it to OT, but going at it some more, and Aqua Chevelle has his day. He definitely shined today, getting the win for the Mafia. 15-10 the final score. They get the first win of the season. Moving on to the CDL's original 6 teams, San Diego Lightning and the Houston Oilers going head-to-head in Dirty Snow on the first collision. Takes down Nickel and Diamond, 5-0 San Diego in the lead. Brings out White Ferrari for the Houston Oilers. And after a little short battle here, is able to get the flip on Dirty Snow. So we are tied at 5. So now we have White Ferrari out there against 7 Series. Both cars from the middleman spot. Both of them good smash mouth style of offense that they bring to the field. Look at this. Both cars even showing a little defense in the process. Heavyweight cars can have that defensive property from time to time, and White Ferrari definitely had it today. Got the lead right there as he took down 7 Series, but it brought out a true defensive car, 24 hours. 24 hours, pretty darn good at defense in his own right, even though he's lighter in weight. But you see these moves that both cars are having. Look at this. It's White Ferrari making the defensive moves to keep alive in this game. He's trying to win the game, as a matter of fact, right here. 24 hours trying to keep the San Diego Lightning in the game, and right there he absolutely did. He tied the game up at 10 apiece. So that brought out Racer X. So 2 defensive cars going at it. So by all rights, with 2 defense cars, we should be in for some pretty stuff just like that. Racer X somehow staying up, and then turns the defense into offense, and he gets the flip right there. So 15-10, that puts Houston in the lead. Hot Goat trying to force overtime, not going to happen. Race directs on point today, and the Oilers get the 15-10 win over the San Diego Lightning. And now we head to the Northern Division for a showdown. Green Bay Dragons and Cleveland Wolves going at it. Junk in the Trunk out there against Inquisitor, and the custom-built Junk in the Trunk able to get the lead. 5-0 right there. And now look at this crazy flip. Shell goes down, and Junk in the Trunk still up off screen. So, Junk in the Trunk starts the day with a 2-0 record, now takes on Toy Soldier, but Toy Soldier trying to keep the Dragons in this game. They have started this game down 10-0 here, and you see some Toy Soldier's defense, and look at that rollover by Junk in the Trunk, unbelievable. You see both of these cars playing great defense, another good roll there, that one by Toy Soldier, had to slow it down so you could see it, and that time around, Toy Soldier able to get some offense going and gets a flip there. Now takes on Aqua Ferrari from the Cleveland side. And that was a little debate what side they would go to, but nonetheless, Toy Soldier and Aqua Ferrari both down. So you saw there Octanium and you see Rocket Oil. Game on the line is 15-10 Cleveland, and these two would be going head to head. It's defense against Smash Mouth here, and Octanium definitely more of a defensive car, and Rocket Oil more of a Smash Mouth car, but Smash Mouth couldn't work for him today. The defense too strong on Octanium's side. Cleveland Wolves getting the win, 15-10 the final score. So from Northern to Central Division we go. Indianapolis Reapers and Minnesota Maniacs, and you see Blue Indy there, and now you're going to see him in action, taking down Green 7 right away, 5-0 Reapers, and that brought out Diablo 2 for the Minnesota side, and both of the cars were down. So point set and Goal Z28 for match. Or would it be Black Spine Buster leading the way back for Minnesota? Let's take a look. And quicker than a McDonald's drive-through, Black Spine Buster down. Game over. Gold Z28 getting the job done when he had to, and the Indianapolis Reapers get the win, 15-5 over the Minnesota Maniacs. And we move on here. New York Empire and the Jacksonville Bangums going head-to-head here, and bam, Testarossa and Enzo 1 both down, starting things off with a blast and a couple of flips. Challenge and Zap would follow that up, and theirs would be a little bit more entertaining. With the score tied at 5, these two go at it, and two offensive cars showing some defensive capabilities, some good spin maneuvers there as they would continue their battle, switching around the sides, back and forth, and this time it would be over. Both cars would be down, so it sets up a defensive battle with the game tied at 10. Black Bullet 2 out there for the Empire, Black Spectite out there for the Bang-Ups. So here we go as we take a look at these two going at it. A good move by Black Spectite there, and that would be followed up by a good move by the both of them. Look at this. Dual barrel roll for Black Spectite, and somehow coming back up there was Black Bullet 2, and this time Black Spectite would be down. So Black Bullet 2 getting the lead, 15-10. And that brings out RD06 Jr. for the Jacksonville Bangums. And a good move by Black Bullet right there. And you're about to see another good one by Black Bullet 2 right there. And yeah, you gotta show his picture because of it. And again, the replays here. Look at this. That was a beautiful one. And that, just like that, somehow able to stay up both times. And then battle continuing, obviously, and look at that one. Another good move by Black Bullet 2. Just amazing stuff. And then he turns into offense and gets the flip. Man, oh man, just like that. And the Bangums will fall in this one. The New York Empire finding a way to win. And how can they not when they got the franchise on their side? 15-10 the final score. Empire wins. So we move on. Seattle Lumberjacks at the San Antonio Kings. Sweet 16 and Mantis starting things off, and Sweet 16 is down quicker than what he came out there. So RPG coming out for the Kings now. 5-0 Seattle in the lead, and a little good battle by these two. And look at that move by Mantis. Yes, that's his picture because we're going to see it in slow-mo. Look at this. Beautiful maneuver to stay in the game, and he's able to follow it up with the flip right there, and that would bring out Motoblade Jr. for the Kings, and bye-bye right there. Good night, Sally. Donuts served for dinner by Mantis. 15-0 the final score, and the Seattle Lumberjacks make winning look easy today. 3-0 day for Mantis. And lastly, in this first section of highlights, Philadelphia Demons, Puerto Rico plays, and it was Pink Indy leading the way for the Demons against Black Star, and quickly 5-0 Philly in the lead. So now that led to Pink Indy going out there against Green Blaze Jr. And get a look at this. Some great defensive maneuvering by Green Blaze. Let's get another look at that in slow-mo. Almost an interference there. Somehow Green Blaze able to stay up. But coming back after that, it will only be a couple of collisions later, and Pink Indy puts down Green Blaze Jr. 10-0 the score. And that would bring out Black Lena, and yeah, we're going to switch sides, and Pink Indy says, I don't care which side I'm on, it doesn't matter. 15-0 the final score. Pink Indy goes 3-0 and gets the Philadelphia Demons a great win here today. Alright, first set of highlights done, and finally maybe the moment you've all been waiting for, at least for the Buffalo Warriors fans that might be forming out there, the moment you've been waiting for. 5-0 Buffalo on the road against 4-1 Washington. Patriots and Warriors. Let's get down to the field for the action. Alright, CDL fans, welcome back. And our next feature event, our second of 3 feature events. I think every CDL live is now, right? Came up with a new format. But our next game about to happen, the next feature event, the 5-0 Buffalo Warriors on the road today, looking to remain perfect here on this March 4th game day as they take on the 4-1 leaders of the Southeast Division, the Washington Patriots. Right now, Buffalo, of course, at 5-0, first place in the league, and they stand alone there. They haven't been beaten or tied yet, and they look to remain that way. So this is going to be an interesting battle as these teams go head-to-head, and gotta give Buffalo a lot of credit. After a season where they didn't even make the playoffs, able to somehow come out with a team that's pretty much similar to what they had last year and still be able to get the job done. So a lot of my props and respect to the Buffalo Warriors for this season so far to their start. The question is, can they keep it going? And same thing for Washington. A lot of questions of, is Washington legit? Are the Patriots, the Washington Patriots, are they legit? And I mean, 4-1 record, but I mean, they've had some rather easy opponents. So can they put it all out there against a tough opponent? Now, of course, they did beat New Mexico. Not going to take that one away from them, but can they get it done against a team like the Buffalo Warriors and how they've been doing? Teams that are seemingly somewhat unstoppable. And so far, the Warriors have been just that this year. Unstoppable. So let's see what happens. Should be an entertaining game. Buffalo Warriors, Washington Patriots. 5-0 team, a 4-1 team. Let's get a look at the lineups. Alright, here we go. The front runners will make their way to the field. It'll be Inferno out there from the Buffalo Warriors front runner spot. And for the Washington Patriots, from their front runner position will be Red Ferrari Jr. So here we go. And Red Ferrari Jr. with the flip. 5-0 Washington in the lead. That brings out Tyrell for the Warriors. And almost an interference there, but no collision made there. So lands in field to play. We are tied at 5, and that brings out Landlord for the Patriots. And both cars going at it here. And Landlord is down 10-5 in favor of Buffalo. So Tyrell on a roll and going for 3-0 in the win here. Ratitude out there from the captain spot for Washington. Trying to keep him alive in this game, and it's not going to happen. It's a clean flip, no interference there, and the Buffalo Warriors find their way to 6-0. And, my oh my, could be the year of the Warriors. I mean, look at Golden State, right? You know, anyways. And then you look at the Buffalo Warriors here in the CDL, 6-0 to start their season here in 2016. Huge win, 15-5 final score. And for Washington, are they as good as what they say? Well, kind of just a tough loss for there. That could be a demoralizing, maybe a crushing one there for them. Let's go look at who both these teams play in the next game day. We look to the March 7th game day. The Buffalo Warriors will be having the, or should I say, they will be on the home side of the field for the next game day, hosting the Dayton Rebels, a team that was like the Philadelphia Demons coming in this game day, 4-0-0-1. Of course, the Demons, you saw they got a win to go to 5-0-0-1. And Dayton, they'll have a bye today, so the Rebels are going to be 4-0-0-1 when they head on the road to take on Buffalo. As for the Washington Patriots, they'll be looking to shake this one off on the road to take on their division rivals, the Washington Patriots, or on the road to take on their divisional rivals, the Jacksonville Bams. Duh, they can't play themselves, but nonetheless, but that Buffalo-Dayton game, that is our main event of a March 7th game day, along with some other games on there like Chicago Wind Attack and Los Angeles Blades. Not to mention Nashville Nighthawks and the Nevada Thunder. And speaking of the Nashville Nighthawks, you're about to see them play on the road against the Chicago Wind Attack. Speaking of them too, right? So you will see, you'll see Nashville and Chicago on the next game day, but hey, you'll see them on this one too because they are going to be the main event that's coming up. But of course, I'm going to show you the rest of the highlights from today's game day here in the pros. So more good stuff coming up. See how Brandon's teams, San Jose and Tampa Bay did. And along with some others, Nevada and Phoenix went head-to-head today. Dallas home against LA. Talk about a huge test for the Lone Stars. And of course Bradford, Milwaukee, some other ones in there. So we'll go on ahead, give you a look at that. Of course Boston, they're up in a weight now, and see how they do against Tampa Bay. I think we already went through that, but nonetheless, let's get a look at more highlights and then our main event of this March 4th game day, a Central Division showdown. It will be between the Nashville Nighthawks and the Chicago Wind Attack. So some highlights, then our main event. Stay tuned. Well, we just saw Buffalo make it look relatively easy to beat a 4-1 team, so they go to 6-0, and only one more game left to go here, our featured event. But of course, there were plenty other games happening here on this March 4th game day, so now the second and final installment of today's highlights. And we start off the second section of the highlights here. Milwaukee Mob and the Bradford Brawlers going head-to-head. Hot Tub Jr. and Uncle Sam. And on the second collision, as you're going to see here, a good flip. Hot Tub Jr. getting the job done. 5-0 Mob in the lead. And that set up this matchup. It would be a good one. Hot Tub Jr. against Escalade, a car that's been struggling of late. Of course, Bradford, losers of 3 straight coming into this game, trying to avoid that 4th straight loss. But Escalade doing everything in his power to tie this game up here, and he even loses a penny out of it. Now, folks, you're going to take a look at this highlight, and yes, that is 2.5 grams of weight coming out of Escalade's body there, and no timeout call. He would compete without it, and looking pretty good without it. Look at this barrel roll. But unfortunately for him, even though the great effort was there, it would not pay off. Hot Tub Jr. getting the flip, 10-0 Milwaukee, leaving it up to Spinebuster to try to lead the comeback. And he kind of starts with it pretty well. Takes down Hot Tub Jr. right away, and it's 10-5. Enter Monty Jr. for the Mob. And Monty Jr. getting the chances, trying to put the game away. With the game on the line, though, Spinebuster's defense just spectacular, and he's able to turn around and get it flipped. So tied at 10 now. That brings up the rookie Cartman from the Milwaukee side. 2 lightweight defensive cars, and folks, they put on a show here. Spinebuster and Cartman head-to-head, and looking for the grip there, as you saw there, and way off screen, Cartman was actually still up. So they would go at it yet again, and Spinebuster was down there off screen, so 15-10, Milwaukee retaking the lead, and Goldust trying to force overtime, and it just wasn't meant to be. Cartman goes 2-0, gets the job done. The Milwaukee Mob get the win, and the Bradford Brawlers take their 4th straight loss. They go to 2-4. And we move on to Central Division Showdown, Denver Mustangs, Idaho Cowboys, and it would start quick. Purple Custo down MX Dragster, giving the Cowboys a 5-0 lead. That would bring out Teardrop, and Teardrop quickly tying the game up at 5 right there. MX Dragster down So RDO2 comes out for the Cowboys now, and he'll be taken down by Teardrop. So 3 collisions in, Teardrop has gotten the 10-5 lead for the Denver Mustangs. Governor out there. You're going to see an epic battle here between these two. That's the reason why both their pitchers are there, because they put on quite the show. Look at this defensive move by Teardrop. In slow motion here, somehow finding a way to stay alive and in the match. And unfortunately for him, it would be to no avail, because eventually he did get taken down right there. So they would set up Governor against this guy, the rookie from the Denver side, Red Detta. And a good move there by Governor, able to stay up somehow. Take a look at that in slow-mo. So Governor keeping the game going here. And Red Detta and Governor, the battle continuing, putting on a good show. And in the end, they both would go down, and that would bring us into overtime. The Denver Mustangs sending out Blue 5-12. Idaho sending out 42nd. Game tied at 15. In overtime, and both cars would be down, and this one would end in a tie. Just one heck of a matchup. 15-15 the final. Cowboys and Mustangs end in a tie. And we move right on along. Gwanda Outlaws and the Atlanta Avengers. You will not enjoy this, but it will be over quickly. It was the first matchup. Then Pizza rolls down right away against Lamborghini, but that brought out Clown for the Avengers. The Avengers haven't won since opening day, but Clown wanted to change that and was off to a good start, tying the game up at 5. Bringing out Sonic Boom from the Outlaws now to take on Clown. And both cars would be down so quickly in this game. We are into a 10-10 tie. Then enter Hammer. That guy. That long, heavyweight snout nose. And takes on 40 here. And you're going to see him do what he does best. Give flips. And it's 15-10 that would bring out Supra from the Atlanta side. Interference saving Supra on the first go there. By Hammer, just consistently gets offensive chances, and in that time, consistently do what he does best, getting flips. 15-10 the final score, and it's Hammer getting the win for the Gwanda Outlaws. And back to the Western Conference. Portland Panthers, New Orleans Gladiators, a game that was a seesaw, really, as we take a look at the first 2 competitors out there, Purple Fire and Elite. And it would be Purple Fire going down 5-0 New Orleans, but it was Monty out there rather quickly, only a couple collisions, got the game tie and flip. So we were all knotted up at 5. So that would bring out Golden Rat, and Golden Rat, only after a couple of collisions, able to retake the lead for the Gladiators, and then who would come out for the Portland Panthers and tying things up right away right there. So tied at 10, Tigre up against who now? This became a fairly epic battle. As you take a look at the defense on display between the two, and how did Tigre do what he did? Look at this in slow-mo. Somehow able to find a way to come back up. I know we're starting to see it all the time, but it is true talent on part of these cars. Who made a good move right there? As you see these two continue in their battle, with the game tied at 10, and it would end right there. And we are going to get a look at that in slow motion too. You say, we always see survivals in slow motion. Why not a flip? Well, here you go. There's a flip in slow motion. Unbelievable stuff. And wouldn't be long until the game was officially over. Who goes 2-0 and stepping up exactly at the time when he had to? Portland Panthers getting the win, 15-10. The final score, they defeat the New Orleans Gladiators. Moving on along, Nevada Thunder, Phoenix Firebirds, and White Indy was the car that came out, and he was hot like white phosphorus at the start of this game as he took on Mika and sat him down. So 5-0 there, and then up against the veteran Green Arrow, taking him down like it's no challenge at all. But then enter Stock 34. But like I said, White Indy, hot like white phosphorus. Going at it with Stock 34 here in a good battle. I mean, they went back and forth, but in the end, it was just too much for White Indy to handle. And that would bring out Yellow Spider from the Nevada side, and Stock 34 getting the interference there, keeping his own side of the field, and it would end up paying off there. And all of a sudden, it turns from a 10-0 game to a 10-10 game. Stock 34 now out there against Hornet. Two good defensive cars going at it. Of course, Hornet, the Rookie of the Year from just last season. In his second year now, switching sides there with Stock 34, and it ends up working out for Stock 34. Unstoppable today as he went to 3-0 there, now taking on Grasshopper. And what a great move. Get a look at that. Somehow staying up And how does he answer that? Bam! Getting the flip. 4-0 day for Stock 34, and he leads the comeback for the Firebirds. 15-10 the final score of this one. Firebirds getting the win over the Thunder. Time for our next game. The Boston Vandals coming into it after winning 2 straight, after losing their first 3, taking on the Tampa Bay Gators, and it would be 47 Ronan out there for the Gators. Defending MVP, showing why he was MVP last year, getting the flip there, but out came Blue Dragon 2. And you're about to see a decision that might have ended up deciding this matchup. And yeah, it would be Blue Dragon 2 getting the home side of the field there, and that would set that up. Tie game 5-5 the score. Blue Dragon 2 getting a good flip. Then went head-to-head with Ratified and was able to get the flip there, close to an interference, but there was not. But now Phantom out there against Blue Dragon 2, and Phantom tying the game up at 10, so things kind of moving along quickly. But we see Vendetta out there, and then we see a nice move by the car. You wouldn't expect defense out of Phantom. Look at this, in slow-mo, able to somehow stay up against Vendetta there, and actually use Vendetta as almost like a springboard to keep himself in it as these two continue to go at it. And that one was very close, and we are going to get a look in slow-mo. It was called an interference as Vendetta was touching one of his teammates there, and it was a very close call there, but the two will go at it again, and no interference on that one. Off-screen, Phantom was down, so that set up this matchup. Vendetta against Battle. Battle trying to force overtime for the Gators, but all it took was one collision, and the car with the brain looked brain dead here in this one. Simply as said, 15-10 the final score. Vendetta just too good, getting the job done, and hey, the Vandals make it to the 500 mark. They go to 3-3 with the win here today. 15-10, if I didn't mention it, was the final score. And we keep moving on. Brandon's other team, his San Jose Storm, on the road against New Mexico Monsters, and the car that we got to pay attention to in this one is Governor 2 from the Monsters. You see him out there taking down 48 Hours, 5-0 score, Monsters in the lead. Charizard trying to fight the good fight here, and a battle of defenses, and it's Charizard going down 10-0, New Mexico in the lead. Bring out Wasp for the San Jose Storm, and he was the one car I'd say that looked the best out of all the Storm cars today, trying to keep his team in it. It was an interference right there, and you see a good move that happens right there, and we're going to get a sometimes I feel like the world's on my shoulders. Everyone leaning on Wasp today. His whole team certainly was down 10-0 trying to make something happen, and it's not meant to be. It's Governor 2 getting the job done. He usually starts from the 5-point gainer spot, but serves donuts for dinner from the front runner position. 15-0 the final. New Mexico getting the win. Moving along, Detroit Devils and Pittsburgh Destroyers, and someone must have told Yellow Custom that, hey, Pittsburgh's only ahead of Detroit by 3 points in the standings out in the Northern Division, and, well, he stepped up right there, getting the flip on Black Dragon, and that brought out Cloud Cutter, the rookie, and tied with him, and, hey, gave his teammate Wood Jr. the chance to get the win. 10-5 Pittsburgh in the lead, but out comes Padawan, and look at Padawan work. Good defensive car, but showing some offense today. Takes down Wood Jr., and then takes down Green Blaze just like that, like it was nothing. The two of the best defensive cars in the league out of the game just like that. But then Paradox would come in, and he's known as being one of the best 5-point gainers you can get on a team, and he got a chance there. Padawan fighting through it, able to keep the match going. Almost went down there, but Padawan so tough to take down in his own right. But it would end right there with Padawan going down and one of the best 5-point gainers in the league, Paradox, doing what he does best, forcing overtime. He would go head-to-head with Black 3 in OT. Here on the first collision, both cars going to be down. So Paradox, a 1-0-1 day from the 5-point gainer spot. Maybe not exactly how he wanted it to end. Not how either team really wanted it to end. They both leave with 2 points, and a 15-15 tie is the final score. And we'll end the highlight reel with this matchup. Pair of 4-1 teams, the LA Blades and the Dallas Lone Stars, and it would be great Indy out there for Dallas, and he gets taken down right away by Pink Indy Jr. And Pink Indy Jr., would then be put down right away by Watsup. So it led up to this matchup. Far future for the Blades and Watsup, the former D-Leaguer, up there for the Dallas Lone Stars. Game tied at 5, and these two would put on a show. An interference there had them both going back to their own sides. Far future and Watsup. I mean, this was just incredible to watch. Another interference there. Both of these cars doing what they do best. And look at this. My goodness, both of them do a barrel roll, able to stay up and in the game. Both of them looking for the 5-1 record. And another good collision that took place, and so many good survival moves by both cars. And you're going to see a good one here. Look at this in slow-mo. Far future somehow able to stay up yet again, and off-screen, Watsup still up, so they will keep going at it. And that time, right front center stage for everyone to see, he was taken down, and then Reptile down a whole lot quicker than Watsup. So, and kind of a shocker there that Reptile went down so quick, but Far Future proving just how great of a car he is. 15-5, Blades get the win. They go to 5-1 on the season. And what would you expect from the defending back-to-back world champs? There you have it. All across the league, the competition is thick, and now maybe it's reached a zenith point. The 4-1 Chicago Wind Attack, home against the 4-1 Nashville Nighthawks. Central Division rivals that have been going at it for years, even though Chicago's got the upper hand in recent years, winning division titles all the way back to 2011, if I remember correctly. They won that Central Division. So making another go for it, but hey, Nashville probably having the strongest season that they've had ever since they took the #1 seed in the West back in 2010. So, Wind Attack and Nighthawks, head-to-head. Let's get down to the field for it.
This is game time and the train time, let the madness fly. Show the strength that just can't be defied.
Well, CDL fans, the time has come for our March 4th game day to come to its end. One more game to go, and it's this one on the field right here. It's the main event. A Central Division showdown to boot. 2 4-1 teams, or should I say this, a pair of 4-1 teams going head-to-head. That sounds better. The Nashville Nighthawks on the road to take on the Chicago Wind Attack. Should be an interesting battle. Two teams that straight up don't like each other, and they go head-to-head today, or should I say bumper-to-bumper today. Should be an interesting game, fun one to watch. Both these teams coming off of their first loss of the season, set to go head-to-head today. Should be interesting. Let's get a look at the lineups they bring to the field today. Alright, here we go. The Nashville Nighthawks starting things off with the orange Chevelle, and R will be the first car out there for Chicago. So game on as these two lock bumpers here and go head to head, and offense seems to be on orange Chevelle's side at the moment here in a scoreless game. And sometimes CDL games, they don't take long. But as you can see, sometimes defense prevails here. Such as in this game. Good battle to start things off. Orange Chevelle and R putting up a good fight right now, and R will have the flip. And that gives Chicago the 5-0 lead. And now No Fear coming out for the visiting Nighthawks. That time close to an interference, but it is a good flip. R is down off screen, and we are just like that, tied at 5 apiece. That'll bring out Monkey Ball now for the Chicago Wind Attack. And this time, both cars down on the first collision. Yet again, you can see them. So 2 collisions and a 1-0-1 night for No Fear from the middleman spot for the Nighthawks. So the score tied at 10, and now that brings out the 2 captains here. It'll be Extinguish out there for the Nashville Nighthawks and Highlight out there for the Chicago Wind Attack. So Extinguish and Highlight going at it here, both cars staying up. Some good offensive chances for Extinguish. 47 run definitely on the highlight definitely on the receiving end of some stuff. And now it's turned around right there. Extinguish down, and highlight has given Chicago the 15-10 lead. Now looking for the win. Kodak out there for the Nashville Nighthawks. Trying to force overtime, that's not going to happen. Highlight able to get the job done. And the Chicago Wind Attack have the win here at home. 15-10 the final score. Chicago getting the win. And they will be on our next edition of CDL Live as well. The March 7th edition. That'll be the next game day, folks. Gotta say, one great game here. 15-10 final score. The Chicago Wind Attack getting the win over their division rivals, the Nashville Nighthawks, and effectively taking over the lead in the Central Division. So, what lays ahead for both teams now? Well, Nashville, they fall to 4-2, and you'll get to see them on the next game day. They will be on the road against a team, or another losing team today, the Nevada Thunder. On our March 7th game day, they'll actually be the second matchup, well, the second featured event on that March 7th game day. As for the Chicago Wind Attack, they'll be leading it off on the road against the defending back-to-back world champs, the Los Angeles Blades. Hey, Chicago's 5-1, LA's 5-1. Should be a great game there to start off that next game day. Other good matchups going on though. Idaho and San Jose should be interesting. Indianapolis and Seattle, both teams able to find their way to a win today. Looking to carry that momentum there. Hartford got a win today, and they'll be taking on a struggling Pittsburgh team on that March 7th game day. Bradford goes head-to-head with Boston, Cleveland, and Philadelphia. I haven't even mentioned our main event yet, but Puerto Rico, Tampa Bay could be interesting. Tampa Bay kind of up and down. Puerto Rico been straight down, but see if they can get back to their feet, so to speak. Roswell going head-to-head with New Mexico. A little in-state rivalry there. And, of course, our main event of the whole thing, the Dayton Rebels. The 4-0-1 Dayton Rebels on the road, coming off their bye to take on the 6-0 Buffalo Warriors. That's all on that March 7th game day, folks. So until then, this is James Hulse, owner and creator of the Car Demolition League, thanking you for joining us here in our 20th season. Till next time, take care of yourself, be yourself, and peace.
I love LA. California, yes, still applies to me. Everybody got something to say.
I feel it deep running, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become, the darkness has begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster.